Progressives, this is your trigger warning. Hi folks, welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. I want to impress upon you this channel is being very much pushed down. If you could share links in any of the regular longer videos with your family and friends and their social media and around, that would really help out. Because they've really got the thumb on this channel. They're allowing some community posts to do well, and they're also allowing some shorts. But the longer videos, I've got over almost 11,000 subscribers. And very rarely will a video break 100. So you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure out what's going on. I would appreciate that. Anyway, let's get back to the story. This is the new Democrat Politburo in the United States. And I got a picture of the Politburo there on purpose because these people, the Democrat Party at the national level in the U.S., screwed over 14 million votes of their own people, i.e. Democrats. They took all the votes of all the primaries and all that money spent and all that work and all that organizing to pick delegates, and they said, you know what? We don't give a about any of you. And they're the ones that are supposed to be upholding democracy. I have no idea why the rank and file Democrats, especially the unions, aren't in open revolt against the Democrats. It's a mystery to me, a mystery. You're going to see former President Trump on here saying that they stole the presidency from Biden, and they did. They did. This is why the founding fathers rejected parliamentary government, with a majority in the, this case, House of Commons determines who the prime minister is. The founders rejected it. They weren't selected by a handful of party leaders. They were selected by the people in that party. And they screwed over 14 million people. Let's listen. President Trump is absolutely right. The Democrats took the presidency away from Joe Biden. That's what communist countries do. I have no idea why the Democrats aren't open revolt against their own party.
Presidency was taken away from Joe Biden. And I'm no Biden fan, but I'll tell you what, from a constitutional standpoint, from any standpoint you look at, they took the presidency away. And people were saying he lost after the debate. He couldn't win. Well, I don't know that that's true necessarily. But whether he could win or he couldn't win, he had the right to run. And they took it away. They said they're going to use the 25th Amendment. They're going to hit you hard. Either we can do it the nice. I know exactly because I know a lot of people on the other side, believe it or not. And they said, we'll do it the nice way or we'll do it the hard way. And he said, all right. So that, I mean, they've really taken, what they've done is pretty incredible.
Now, think about that for a minute. Well, John, you know, former President Trump and you and all the other Republicans and all you right-wing nuts and blah, blah, blah wanted Biden to stay because of the fact that you knew you had a much better chance against him than anyone else. We'll say that's true. It doesn't make President Trump, what he said, any less true. They just took their entire primary process, and a lot of it isn't just Democrat rules. There's federal laws involved, and just said, the hell with it. Well, Biden exposed himself for how inadequate mentally and physically he is at the debate with President Trump in June. Well, you guys all knew. You all knew how bad he was. You knew how much he was deteriorating. You had 4 years, actually 3, if you want to give him a year to groom a new candidate, to tell Biden, listen, we don't want to pull any stunts here. It's going to hurt us and Trump's going to win. We need you to walk away. They lied to the American people over and over and over, and their allies in the mainstream media and social media did as well. Everybody's like, oh, I can't believe it. Biden is that bad? I never knew. After seeing that so-called debate, of course you knew. And you NPCs in the Democrat Party, if you act surprised the average Joe walking around, I didn't know. You weren't paying attention. You were lied to if you didn't know. And I'll tell you the truth, if you didn't know at least some of it, I question your intelligence to even vote. That being said, you got screwed over. Here's some of the leadership of the Democrat Party. I leave the picture of the Politburo up on purpose because that's now what it's become. They don't give a good damn about what the average person thinks. We know better than you. We know what's good for you. So therefore, just sit down and shut up. That's exactly what they did. Now let's see one of the ringleaders of the so-called, I call it Democrat coup. There she is pictured there in the middle with her white blazer on, basically admitting what she did. She didn't mention at all the 14-odd million people that voted in the primaries. All those delegates now have voted in a virtual convention and put Kamala Harris as their nominee. They were afraid to do it at a regular convention. Well, John, you're just doing that because the Democrats are in disarray. They're in disarray. They deserve it. But the American people don't. They knew what Biden was like. And then they pretend to be horrified after that so-called debate. It's amazing to me. Amazing. Why aren't the average rank and file Democrat in this country in open revolt against the party? Now, let's see the ringleader of this whole thing, one of them anyway, her, Obama, and a couple of others, and probably including my senator, Schumer. Let's listen. Well. Nancy Pelosi finally says the quiet part out loud. They pulled a presidential coup. This is a Soviet Union CCP type government. We no longer live in a democracy.
I've never been that impressed with his political operation.
Yeah, it's funny you say that now. What a piece of this woman is. I'm telling you right now.
Biden's operation.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I just haven't been. They won the White House. Bravo. Right? Mm-hmm. But so my concern was, this ain't happening.
This ain't happening. It's for me and a handful of others to decide. What 14 million people decided they wanted Biden. You did everything in your power, you and your cronies in the Democrat Politburo, I'll call them, to hide Biden's deterioration from the American people. You were counting on the average Democrat, even if they discovered Biden was losing it mentally and physically, that their hatred for Donald Trump would push them through. Well, that debate was just so horrific. And it was Biden's idea. Why was it his idea? Because he was losing. And you knew it all. And you allowed all those primaries to happen. And then you sit and decide, you arrogant piece of, that this ain't going to happen now. I get to decide what 14 plus million people wanted. And if they don't want what I want, too bad for them.
And we have to make a decision for us this to happen. And the president has to make the decision for that to happen.
We had to make the decision. Who the hell's we? The Democrat Politburo, former President Obama, leadership in the Democrat Party. Everybody, including Kamala Harris. She came out right to Joe Biden said, I'm not giving up. I'm not withdrawing. Went to Delaware for the weekend. What a shocker. And then by Monday, he pulled out. They threatened him with the 25th Amendment. My understanding, I thought it had to be unanimous, the 25th Amendment, to remove a president for mental or physical disability. Only needs a majority of the cabinet members. And Kamala Harris is in that vote too, by the way, as vice president. So they probably got a majority, confronted Joe Biden with it. And he probably thought, you sons of bitches, why did you push me to do it? And now you're stabbing me in the back. Why? He doesn't know that he's losing it mentally and physically. He really doesn't. It's just so disgusting and so ridiculous. And this isn't about what's best for Trump and the Republicans, even though this helps. It's about the democracy and the will of the people. And you could give two craps about what your own party people think. You're the one that was in on the deception. The deception that Joe Biden was okay. And then when it got exposed, You said, okay, we'll just stab him in the back, throw him in the garbage heap, get somebody else. And if the delegates and the Democrat voters don't like it, too bad.
Let me just say, I won't say necessarily I knew what I was doing at that time. I knew what I was doing in the whole thing, not just that ship.
And what was that?
That Donald Trump would never set foot in the White House again.
Now, think about that. We don't care about laws. We don't care about rules. We don't care about what millions and millions of Democrats who voted for Biden in the primary think. We don't give a good damn about any of them. We have Trump derangement syndrome so bad. What are they afraid of? They're not afraid of Trump's policies. Let's just tell the truth here. They got what they wanted in Biden. They got Trump out of the White House, and they got millions and millions of unlawful immigrants pouring into the country. They got a lot of what they wanted. I'll go on the trans issue and other things, but this website will put cramp down on this video more than it already is. They had the rioting. They had everything. They got what they wanted. They wanted chaos and disarray, and they got it. And they got it. They tied in the Senate. So with the presidency, the vice president being a Democrat, they control that. But they didn't have control of Congress for the last 2 years. Okay. We don't care what you think. We know better than you because we're smarter, we're better educated, and we know you're good people. You just don't know. You just have no clue how the real world works. And we're going to tell you how it works, and you're going to go along with it whether you like it or not. That's what the Democrats have done. Why in the world isn't all the major unions, the Teamsters the other day, Auto Workers Union, I should say, just endorsed Kamala Harris? You got to be kidding me. If you took a survey of the rank and file members of the UAW, I'll bet you 70% go along with endorsing Trump. But they don't care. Leadership and unions, big shots at the federal and state levels. My governor, I say that tongue-in-cheek, Hochul. It's just we're in charge because we know better than you. We are the elite, and you're the serfs and the peons. We know what's best for you. Sit down and shut up. I just simply don't know how, besides the hatred of Donald Trump that's been festering for almost 10 years now in the media, that's the only thing that's keeping the average Democrat voter, from going in open revolt against the party. She has zero policy issues on her website. Zero. Until yesterday, I believe. She came out with no taxes on tips. You piece of... Trump said that 2 or 3 months ago. He also recently came out with a policy position, no taxes on Social Security. She says we're going to take taxes off of tips. They have no shame. And the average voter is in such a bubble that they think it came from her. This is so ridiculous. I used to think the progressives and the leftists and the majority of Democrats were just misguided. Just had the wrong ideas and they were just misguided. Now I'm convinced that they are evil. Until the next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.